guys, I am venturing off into Marquee Letters. So here we have the template. I am creating baby. I purchased the actual template off of Etsy from DIY Wedding Market. Here they are, right here. So my husband took my idea and ran with it. Here we have the 1/2 inch of plywood, and he is outside cutting using a jigsaw tool to cut out the letters. He started this project while I was at work, so when I came home I was super excited, as you all can see in the pictures. So now he is beginning the framing process. He used the same plywood, which is 1/2 inch thickness. He cut them into 4-inch strips, and he used a square, which is like a triangular tool, to measure the size. That tool is actually pictured behind the framing. It's orange, it's back there, that triangular tool right there. Once he achieved his desired length, he applied wood glue and used a brad nailer to attach the framing to the backing piece of the letter. So initially we put the framing closer towards the front of the backing of the letter. Moving forward, we decided to cut that piece maybe 6 or 8 inches wide so that we could place the framing directly in the middle, so that it has the same amount of weight in the front as well as the back when it is standing, to give it more support. So yes, again, it is standing, but if someone was to bump into it, I'm afraid that it will fall forward too easily. So we use DryDez to fill any cracks and holes that may have been present in the letters. Here we are outside, sanding down the letters and filling those cracks and holes. So DryDez actually comes out like a pinkish purplish color, then it turns white. That's how you know when the product is ready to be sanded. And it was very important for us to sand because we wanted to create a surface that was very smooth, so when handling it, no one got any blisters or splinters or anything like that from touching the letters. These bad boys are ready to be painted. This is the paint that we use to paint our letters. Initially, we attempted to use spray paint, but it didn't work well, and paint was much thicker and much more durable. So here is the wiring that I use. I got this from Amazon. It is SBT2 wiring. That is very important because they have SBT1 as well. So when you're using wiring, all of your other supplies must be aligned with the number that you're using. So for example, me, I'm using SBT2, so my vampire plugs, my sockets, my bulbs all must be aligned with SBT2 because that is the wiring that I purchased for my letters. So here are the sockets that I use. They are C7 SBT2 white sockets. They were purchased from Novelty Lights. They are a vendor on Amazon, but Amazon did not have them at the time that I purchased them, so I went directly to the website. Here are the clamps that I would use to put the backing onto the sockets to clamp them in together. Make sure you have a pair of wire cutter strippers because you will need them when you're cutting the wire and stripping the insulated part to put into the vampire sockets. I use these glow up bowls that I found on Amazon. They are actually the same vendor as the sockets, Novelty Lights. They are E17/C9 with the intermediate base. This is very imperative as your bulbs need to fit the base of the socket. So make sure that, again, you're purchasing the correct materials so that you don't have to, play the runaround game to get what you need. You're going to need vampire plugs, both female and male. These are SBT2 plugs that will illuminate my letters because, again, all of my other supplies are SBT2. I purchased these off Amazon and they are provided below in the description box. Now that we have our supplies, we can begin wiring. You're also going to need a stapler and staples just to keep the wiring organized, and you can staple it to the backing of the letter. Here is the male vampire plug, and it also has a backing that goes along with it. Now the backing that I'm going to be showing momentarily is very important because it is used to make sure that the wiring touches the slicer within the wiring cavity to help separate the two exposed wire ends. So right now we're going to cut to split the wire, and then I am going to take the other part of the clippers to actually expose the wire so that I can stick it into the wiring cavity of the male plug. clamps as my manpower, it's very difficult to put the backing on because the wiring is so thick. So I'm going to take them, separate them, and it pops right on the back of the plug. So I'm going to adjust the length of the wiring to plug into the next letter, just based off, you know, what I feel. I didn't use any type of measuring tool to get this measurement. I just kind of eyed it as to how long I wanted it to be. Okay, so now I am prepared to place the sockets around the letters. So my husband thought it would be a good idea to place them from the front and, you know, kind of push them through the back and put the clamp on. But my only concern was the wiring was so thick that it would not work, which that's what I'm struggling to do now. So my suggestion was to make the holes a lot bigger so that I can put the socket through the back of the wire so that it'll be easier for me to clamp. So here I am. I'm going to struggle through trying to put the socket from the front and clamp it towards the back, but it's not going to work. So just watch me struggle for a bit until we realize that we're actually going to have to cut the holes a lot bigger in order for them to fit through the back. So now I'm going to attempt to apply pressure to the clamp so that it attaches to the socket, but I ended up doing more damage because I split the wood in the front. So that was another thing that I had to fix in the end. So here we have a completed wiring process on the back of a letter. We have a female and a male plug on each end. However, this is not secure, so we did have to disassemble this wiring and go back in and create larger holes, and those holes ended up being about 2 inches in diameter so that it can fit the SBT2 socket. Completely floored with these results. Just to take plywood and, you know, different tools and resources to create something by hand that looks as great as this, I couldn't be more happier. So all of the hard work and every time I felt like giving up or giving in surely paid off in the end. We're going to put these bad boys up for rentals and start our marquee business. This video was not as detailed as I would like it to be, so if you all are interested in step-by-step instructions on the process, please let me know. I can put one out about the backing of the letters and then another one about framing, as well as creating the lighting, so I can make separate videos for you all. Just let me know in the comment box below what you all are looking for from me to put out there for you, and I will. I would like to thank you all for stopping by once again. I hope you all enjoy this video, and see you next time on DryDez Designs.